As a next step, let's try to enhance our UI application to show a confirmation message to the end user once the submitting of the data is completed. To show these successful or confirmation messages to the end user, we can build our own components or we can leverage some of the libraries available inside the React ecosystem. Since showing these confirmation messages is a very common requirement for all the projects, there are good amount of React libraries available which are going to help us in these kind of scenarios. One such library is React Toastify. You can use any other libraries as well, but inside this course, my recommendation is to use this library. In real projects, they are going to develop their own components to display this kind of confirmation messages, which I feel is not required when you already have this kind of libraries. So to install this library, we need to execute this command. Let me copy this. And inside the terminal, I'll first stop the running application, followed by I will try to execute the command. Once the package React Toastify is installed, we need to make few changes. Let's try to get these details from the official documentation. Inside this package, you can click on this GitHub repo, which is going to open this GitHub repository. And here, there is a link for the demo. If you can scroll down, there is a section with the name demo, and here there is a link. Let me click on the same, which is going to open this page. Here we'll be able to test this library. For example, with these default settings like position, type, and theme, and auto close delay, transition, progress, and limit, with these default values, if I click on this show toast, I'll be able to see a message here in the top right corner. I can change this to top center and select this success followed by dark theme. After making these changes, I can click on this show toast, and this is how my confirmation message is going to look like. Let's try to understand what do we have inside these code changes. To use this library, first we need to wrap our entire application with the help of this toast container. So we need to mention what is the position, what is the auto close time, followed by other parameters. You should be able to easily understand about the purpose of these properties. Once you wrap your entire application with this toast container, inside your business logic where you want to trigger the toast, you need to use the toast.success or toast.error based upon your requirement. If I want to trigger an error message, I need to invoke this error function. If I click on this show toast, this is how my error message is going to look like. Let's try to make these changes inside our application. First, I need to go to the main.jsx file. This is the place where we need to import the toast container and wrap our entire application. If you can see, we are doing the very similar thing with the help of router provider. When you want a functionality that should be accessible inside your entire application, you need to make sure to mention that component under this main.jsx file. So first, let me import toast container by typing import toast container, followed by I'm also going to import bounce. Bounce is the animation which is available inside the React Toastify library. Followed by I'm also going to mention an import statement which is going to import the CSS file related to the React Toastify library. When we install this library or package inside our application, the CSS files they are going to be available at this location. We know all the installations they are going to happen inside the node modules. If you open the node modules, under this node modules, there is a package with the name React Toastify. Under this React Toastify, there is a dist folder. Under this dist folder, we have the CSS name with the name React Toastify.css. The same we are trying to import here. Next, using this toast container, I'm going to wrap my entire application. Just above or below this router provider, we can mention toast container component. To this component, I'm trying to pass various properties. Position as top center, auto close as 3000 milliseconds, hide progress bar as false, newest on top as false, draggable, pass on hover, and transition as bounce. Coming to the theme, I'm going to change to dark or light based upon what we stored inside the local storage. Inside our application, we can change this theme based upon the changes that we are doing inside this theme. The theme details will be stored inside the local storage. Those theme details I'm trying to read with the help of this JavaScript code. If my main theme is dark, I'm trying to set the same dark theme here. Otherwise, I'm going to set light theme. So once I mention this toast container, I can go to the place where I want to trigger the toast. Here, just after resetting the form, I want to display a toast message to the end user. To emit a toast message, first I need to make sure I'm importing toast function from the React Toastify library. With the help of this toast function, I'm going to trigger success function because I want to show a successful message. To this success function, I'm going to pass the message as your message has been submitted successfully. Let me save this and go to the terminal. Let me start my application by running the command npm run dev. Inside my contact form, I pre-populated all the required data. Let me click on this submit button. As soon as I submit, I'll release this breakpoint. You'll be able to see there is a message on the top saying that your message has been submitted successfully. This gives a super confidence to the end user that his data is saved inside the backend. Sometimes after submitting the form, we may want to redirect the end user to some other path. How to do that? It's very easy. We just have to import a function with the name redirect. So let me type import redirect. Redirect is a function inside the React Router DOM. It is not a hook. If it is a hook, we can't use inside our action function. So action function is not a functional component. That's why the React Router library team, they cleverly created redirect as a function but not as a hook. This time, maybe instead of returning the success as true, I may want to redirect the end user to some other path. Let me try to type redirect, and to this function, I'll try to pass the path as home. After populating the path details to this redirect function, we need to make sure we are returning the output from this redirect function from our action function. So let me save this and go to the browser. Inside my contact form, I pre-populated all the required information. Let me click on the submit. As soon as I click on this, you'll be able to see I am redirected to the home page once the data is successfully stored inside the database. Always use this redirect if you have a requirement to redirect the end user once the data is submitted. In our scenario, it is not going to make sense to redirect the end user to the home page from the contact page. That's why I will revert back to the previous changes where we are returning a success response. I will try to mention the redirect code changes as well here for your reference by commenting the same. I hope you're clear on how to use the toast library and redirect function to redirect the end user from your action function.